Hey guys, I get a lot of questions about Lenkas compared to other brands, and so I wanted to show you this one is a very tight comparison. And so these are the Lenka Dash, whereas these are the Feelground Original Mesh. Very similar shoe. They're both perfectly barefoot shoes, in my opinion. And so I'm comparing a few little things around them. So I'll start with the price. These are the Feelground Original Mesh. They are normally 114 USD. They're currently on sale for 91.20. They do not come with an insole, so when I ordered with an insole, which is 11.90 USD. The insole is again barefoot, 3 millimeters thick. So the problem is these ship from Germany. They ship with DHL, and so for us Canadians that means duties and taxes and shipping fees. Shipping fees on 91.20 come to 21.54 USD. We adding $17.02 in terms of duties and $14.41 in terms of tax to ship to BC. Other provinces will be more or less depending where you are. If I'm looking at the Belenkas, they are 149 euros, which is a little bit steeper than the 114 USD. But when you order through me, there are no shipping fees, there are no duties, there are no taxes. I cover all of that. These are also on sale currently with 89.40 euros, but I'm going to use the full price on these because that's what you pay when you buy through me. So 149 euros in Canadian is 213. $114 plus $11.90 insole plus duties, shipping fees, and taxes come to $212.11 Canadian or 156 USD. So there's literally less than $1 difference on these two. If I'm comparing them with the insole, like the Milenkas already come, the Feelgrounds don't normally, but I'm adding the insole, and so we're going to talk about them very closely that way. So the Feelgrounds are size 40, the Belenka are size 40. So if you do the exact comparison this way, they're basically the same. The angle that you're getting here is slightly different, but there we go. So they're both mesh, they're both vegan, they both come with an insole if you pay for it, and we're comparing them as if they do. So both size 40, the manufacturer for Feelgrounds actually says that size 40 is size 9 women's, and that is 26.1 centimeters and 9.5 in width. The Belenka are 25.7 centimeters, and the width is 10.3. When you compare them, however, the width is, in my opinion, exactly the same. So what you're losing is a little bit of width this way once they're actually stitched up. So the way manufacturers look at the width, they actually measure the thing that they put inside to actually stitch the shoe up. And so when you put the shoes on your feet, they may feel slightly different depending how they're stitched up or how low the volume is and how that stretches. In my opinion, if I measure the outside, they are exactly the same. When I put my foot in, they feel the same. So one says 9.5, the other one says 10.3. They feel the same, except the Feelgrounds are lower volume than the Belenkas. Also, the way the stitching comes here allows, actually the stitching on this one allows a little bit more volume this way, whereas the stitching here is kind of so low that if you have high volume foot in this area, you're gonna have harder time getting your foot actually in. As I said, they're both vegan. The weight, actually, this one is just under 200 grams, 194 grams, when I'm measured without the insole. The Belenkas are 224 grams with the insole, so the insole would make very few milligrams of difference, and so I would say weight-wise, they're basically the same as well. The Feelgrounds have 5 millimeters sole, whereas the Belenkas have 4, sorry. Belenkas are 4 millimeters, Feelgrounds are 5 millimeters. once you add the insole, they feel exactly the same. I don't feel that 1 millimeter difference in any shape or form. The cool thing about these, once you actually take the insole out and you look in, they look basically the same, the way the stitching is done here. The way the sole is done, though, is slightly different. The feelgrounds are just glued, whereas the Belenkas are actually stitched as well. So that means it's usually a little bit longer lasting sole. So they roll up basically the same. There's no difference there. They feel the same lengthwise as well. So when we're looking at the sole, they both have pretty active soles. This one is what they call the active grip. This one is the original for feelgrounds. They're both really good. This one is supposed to be a little bit better for colder and wetter weather because of the way the sole is designed. Not 100% sure, haven't had them long enough. The back of the heel is slightly different, so I'm going to put it like this so you can see it. So you see how the Belenkas come much higher. So it depends how your heel is. Sometimes you may find this more comfortable or this more comfortable. If you're rolling it down, these are a little more stiffer than these. It may be because these are brand new and these have been worn. I'm not 100% sure, but these also have a little bit more cushion here in the heel, whereas this one doesn't even come high enough. Cool thing is, feelgrounds are actually stitched from the outside, so there are no stitches inside your shoe. They're here on the outside, so you can't feel that in there, so that's pretty cool. You don't feel anything in here either, but then underneath this cushion there may be something because there's no stitching on the outside. I am guessing the stitching is kind of happening lower down, as these seem to be made slightly differently, so there's no fabric stitching here or here. As I mentioned, the upper lacing and the upper part is slightly different, and so when you're looking here, you can actually see that you wouldn't be able to get more volume this way because of the way how they're stitched, whereas here you can get a lot more stretch this way as well, because the stitch comes like only up to here, just this little piece, and there is a lot more volume this way compared to the feelgrounds, which is not good or bad. It's just how it is, because some people have lower volume and they don't want the extra fabric here, whereas these do stretch a little bit. So what else to tell you about these? These come in 7 different color combinations, so different color sole, different color upper. These only come in 4 if I'm not wrong, which I think I'm not. So yeah, the Belenkas come with the terry cloth insole, which can be washed, whereas these you get to choose what kind of insole you want for the $11.90 USD. The insoles are 3 millimeters on the feelgrounds, and so yeah, they feel good. They seem good. They're both mesh. They're both vegan. Yeah, and if you're in Canada, the difference in pricing is $212.11 with current exchange rate, and these are 213 Canadian dollars with the current exchange rate. Feel free to ask any questions.